My name is Eleanor Hayes, and I am 72 years old. I live alone in a small wooden house at the edge of a quiet village. Life has never been easy for me. Many years ago, my son and daughter-in-law died during the war. After that, my only comfort in the world was my grandson, Oliver. He was my joy, my reason to wake up every morning, and the last piece of family I had left. Oliver and I lived a simple, peaceful life together. He helped me with the garden, the animals, and every little thing around the house. But as the years passed, my eyes grew weaker. One winter morning, I woke up and could no longer see the world around me. From that day on, I was completely blind. I could not see colors, faces, or even the light from the window. The world became dark, and I had to trust my hands, my ears, and my heart to understand what was around me. Oliver became my eyes. He cooked, cleaned, chopped firewood, fed the chickens, and guided me gently everywhere. I could feel his soft hands and hear his warm voice, and with him close, the darkness around me felt less heavy. But one cold night, Oliver became very sick. His breathing was weak, and his body was hot with fever. I touched his face and felt the fear in my heart. The neighbors came to help me. They took him to the hospital in the city because the small clinic in the village could not treat him. I waited in the darkness, shaking, praying, hoping. The neighbors cared for me, cleaned the house, cooked for me, and even sat beside me at night. Everyone loved Oliver. He was a good boy. Days passed. One evening, the neighbors came back from the hospital. I could feel the air change when they walked inside. Someone held my hand too tightly. Someone else touched my shoulder with shaking fingers. But no one said a word. I knew something was wrong, but I was blind and I was scared, and my heart could not take more pain. I waited for them to speak, but they stayed silent. They were afraid to break my heart. The next morning, the neighbors brought a boy into my house. They held my hands and said he had returned from the hospital. "Oliver is home," they whispered softly. The boy walked toward me with slow, careful steps. He touched my arm gently and said, "I'm here, Grandma." His voice was warm and his hands were kind, but something in my heart felt strange, as if a small piece of the world had changed when I was not looking. Still, I smiled and welcomed him home. I smiled. I nodded. I let them place my hand on his cheek. It was warm and soft, just like Oliver's, but not the same. Days went by. The boy helped me every morning and every night. He cleaned the house, cooked simple meals, and brought firewood into the kitchen. His hands were careful and kind. Sometimes I almost believed the lie the villagers tried so hard to protect, but slowly, quietly, I began to feel small changes. His footsteps were different. Oliver had a quick, light step, but the boy walked slowly, always thinking before each step. His voice was gentle, but not exactly the same. He smelled like a different soap, a different world. One day, I asked him about a memory, something Oliver and I had shared for years, something only he and I knew. The boy stayed quiet for too long. Then he tried to answer, but his words were wrong. Another time, I gave him a cup in his right hand, but he moved it to his left. Oliver was right-handed. The boy was left-handed. But I said nothing. I only smiled and held his hand. The boy continued to help me. He tried so hard. He cooked the food he thought I liked. He fixed the broken wooden gate. He read books to me in the evenings. But sometimes he made small mistakes. Sometimes he called me Mrs. Hayes by accident. Sometimes he talked about the children in the orphanage. Sometimes he became quiet when I spoke about Oliver. His silence was long and heavy, full of fear and sadness. Still, I did not ask him anything. I did not want to hurt him, and I did not want to break the fragile peace in my house. He was good, he was gentle, and he was trying to take care of me with all his heart. One afternoon, a doctor from the city came to visit. He was the doctor who had treated Oliver at the hospital. The neighbors had asked him to check my health because they were worried about me. The doctor did not know the story the village tried to hide. He sat by my bed and spoke softly. For a moment, everything was normal, and then he said the words that froze the entire room. "I am very sorry, Mrs. Hayes, about your grandson. He did not survive the illness. We did everything we could." The room became silent. All the neighbors gasped. Someone cried out softly. Noah's breath broke. The doctor realized too late what he had said. Everyone waited for me to scream or cry or break apart. But I did not. Instead, I smiled. A slow, warm, peaceful smile. And I said, "It's all right. I already knew." The doctor was confused. The neighbors were shocked. Noah trembled beside me. So I told them the truth. 3 nights after Oliver went to the hospital, I had a dream. In the dream, I could see. I could see more clearly than I had ever seen before. Oliver stood in front of me in a soft, warm light. His face was bright and beautiful, and his eyes were gentle. He walked to me and touched my hands. He smiled the sweetest smile, the smile he always had when he wanted me not to worry. "Grandma," he said, "I am going to a place very far away. Please don't be sad. Please live well. Take care of your heart. One day, we will meet again, but not now. It's not your time." Then he hugged me, and I felt his warmth one last time before he slowly faded into the light. When I woke up from the dream, I knew he was gone. I felt it deep inside me. Oliver had come to say goodbye. The next day, the neighbors brought Noah to me and said he was Oliver coming home. I knew it was not true, but when I touched Noah's hands, I felt something honest and kind inside him, something soft, something lost, and I thought, this boy also needs a home. This boy needs someone to love him. So I said nothing, and I let him stay. I reached out my hand and touched Noah's cheek. He was crying now. "I am sorry," he whispered. "I didn't want to lie. I didn't want you to be alone." "You never lied," I said softly. "You came here with love, and that is all I needed." Noah fell into my arms and cried like a child who had finally found a safe place. The neighbors cried too. The doctor wiped his eyes. The room was full of sadness and love, mixed together like winter snow melting under warm sunlight. From that day, Noah and I lived together. He was no longer pretending to be Oliver, and he did not need to pretend. He became my grandson, not by blood, but by the heart. And I became his grandmother, the one he never had. In the darkness of my world, he became my light, and in his lonely world, I became his home. Thank you for listening to my story. In life, we all walk through dark days. Some people lose their families, some lose their homes, some lose their sight, like me. But even in the deepest darkness, a small act of kindness can bring light again. My story taught me that family is not only blood, family is love. Family is the person who stays with you, who cares for you, and who holds your hand when your world feels empty. Sometimes, life takes someone away from us, but sometimes, life also sends someone new, someone who needs us as much as we need them. And when 2 lonely hearts meet, they can create a new home together. That is the quiet miracle of love. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe, not just for more stories, but for more moments that make you feel something again.